Hello everyone, I just wanted to do a video on the ZenBot Stock Scanner. It's a free stock scanner, it's fantastic, it does a great job for those looking for a scanner. Yes, there are paid ones out there that are pretty good. Option Stalker is one, but if you're just starting out and you want a good, straightforward stock scanner with good customizable options, I think this is a great option and deserves, I think, a bit more recognition. So I wanted to do a video just outlining some of the positives of this scanner. So this is kind of the main page you start on. This is the web version. There is also a app version, the ZenBot app version, and you can link your charting app with that. So if you happen to click on a ticker here, so say you clicked on this one, it would launch you basically into that app, and you can potentially quickly scroll through those in your charting system. So this is the main page that we start on. Just a basic introduction. The best way to start is obviously to start with a user guide. This is quite a useful guide. It's very comprehensive. I will jump back to this, but it's best if we just look at the scanner itself just to go through these. So let's look at one of my favorite ones. I mostly do swing trading over days into weeks. I don't do as much day trading because I'm under the PDT rule and I don't have that much time sometimes to look at those day trades. So one of my favorite ones is strong daily. It's just looking those with a strong daily chart, and we can kind of see here what the description of that is. So we're looking for LRSI greater than 80 and price made new highs within 10 days. And we get a list of tickers. I have a filter on. It's always good to add a filter on depending on what exactly you're looking for, because some of these can get a bit obviously large. So we don't want to be looking through 370 or anything like that. And the useful thing when you're not sure what one does, you can just hover your mouse over it and there'll be a little tooltip that tells you. So this is the highest relative strength over the past hour. So that's a pretty useful one. But so I like to look at strong dailies. So let's just look at my filters. So you can filter the scan results looking at your own custom criteria. A little bit of good advice is try the criteria listed with an asterisk first, which is quite useful for helping out with fine-tuning your results and also looking for those with that relative strength, relative volume. So these are just a couple of my ones. I look for market caps over 2 billion, weekly options, minimum price, but you can add relative strength here and above SMAs and those other bits as well. But this is just my own personal setup. You can have it set up however you want. A minimum average volume over 1.5 million, so it's traded well. I'm going to move that over there. And so that's my filter. So it filters out stuff that I'm not really interested in trading straight off the bat, because the volume's either too low or it's a small stock that maybe is a bit more volatile. I'm looking for those bigger stocks where institutions are definitely in them and moving them. So the first thing we can do is customize the columns. Very useful. We can select a load of different possible options for our columns. This is my personal setup. Again, I'm looking at relative strength, relative weakness, and real volume, real relative volume, a strong D1, and a bull flag as well. Another great thing we can see on here that's quite useful to know is sometimes it's difficult to find the news for a stock, isn't it? So if you click into that little bit of paper, you can just see what scans does this ticker already appear on. APP, I know is a good pick because I've looked at it recently, but we can see the relative volume is great, its relative strength is also great, and it appears on a lot of our scans. Good sign. And sometimes it's interesting to know why. So here's some of the news around that. We can potentially read some of those more. This is Bazinga, more Bazinga, or Bazinga. But it's a quick way to glance at a stock to be like, what is going on with this stock? So really useful to have that. You can flag the stocks, and we can see, yeah, how long has it been on the ticker for. So that one been in there 56 hours. I've got weekly options set to yes, so all of these are going to be weekly options. But you can see also there's a trend buying signal. That's a ZenBot specific thing. We can look at that in the user guide actually. So we might just jump across to that user guide, because there's lots of bits in here on how to get started. But the main bit I wanted to just touch upon was just going to be a descriptor basically for all our filters. So if you're here not sure what certain filters do, this is where you want to come to basically look at what each one is doing for you. Some are quite explanatory. If you don't know what EMA 3 is and EMA 8, you probably need to do a bit more research before trading. But yeah, so it tells you what a bear bull flag is. So an earlier strong trend that has pulled back. So that can be a strong bullish trend that has pulled back. So I personally like to trade pullbacks, so I wait for pullbacks and then get involved. So I'm interested in Heikin-Ashi reversals, bear bull flags, and daily kind of pullbacks. So yeah, really useful to have in the user guide. Storm put a lot of effort into putting this together. Really useful. And this is actually just a useful graph of how the sectors are measured against SPY. So that relative strength, relative weakness that we saw at the top on Zen up here is what kind of this references. So very useful to have that. So yeah, if we, but just based on the color, we can obviously see that, yeah, maybe technology, well, say technology done well. I think obviously SPY had quite a negative day that day. So if we just load up SPY, kind of load up SPY, we can see there's a bit of a bearish trend day yesterday. So most sectors are actually going to do quite poorly. But if we double click into sector strength and volume, we can see which sectors are doing well, which industries within those sectors are doing well, which is also quite useful. But just having a relative strength, relative weakness kind of indicator is quite useful. So energy probably done quite well yesterday. Usually does well when you have a bit of a bearish trend day, doesn't it? And that is sector strength. Each column is useful. I like to look at those with green across the board. Pete would probably call that royal flush, I think, is one of the scans he uses. But yeah, I'm looking at real volume, real relative volume. And yeah, we can import scans from other people, which is very useful. There's an active community on Real Day Trading Discord, as well as a Zen Scans one as well. And yeah, we can also build our own scans, which is great. So these are some that I've built. So this is just me looking for bull flags. So just looking specifically for bull flags. Again, the bull flag was the pullback that we were kind of looking for. And we can actually turn on built-in charts. So we can, turn on built-in. These are basic charts, but again, if you're flicking through these, it's quite useful just to be able to quickly glance at the D1. So you can rule some out, and so potentially that one, even though potentially green across the board, I'm not interested in looking at that one for the time being. A bit more of a pullback than I would hope. We can also look at the earnings as well. So that is an earning date that has already happened. So because it's American, I have to rejig my mind. But that was 12th of November. So that has been, so we could probably hazard a guess when those earnings were. Yeah, so it gapped up here and then been going down since there. So yeah, ideally I would want to see that hold its gap up. If you compare it to, say, something like RDDT, gapped up there, but obviously you expect a bit of a pullback, but maintained the majority of that candle nearly on halfway. So I would like that one, but not so much the other one. And again, Earnings for this one, 12th of the 11th. So that seems like it's a negative. That would be potentially a positive. I'm not actually super sure on some of the earnings images, actually. I've not used them enough yet. But super useful that Storm is starting to include all this stuff to the point where even I don't know what some of it is, because I don't reference it and use it every day. So still being updated, which is great. And the other kind of views that we have, I won't go over some of the bearish ones because a lot of them are obviously just the inverse of the bullish ones. But I just want to launch into excuse me, into Multiscan just to see what we have basically in our Multiscan. A bit of a potato PC, so it's getting there, but it usually loads quite quickly. So the Multiscan is that instead of looking at individual scans, we can basically have a couple of scans in a multi-view. So it's quite self-explanatory. I'm just going to turn off, actually I can leave it on. But so we have the ability to customize the columns in here, which is very useful. Add filters in here, so specific filters for the multi-scan. So bearish and bullish, so above VWAP, below VWAP, relative strength, relative weakness. And we can customize each bearish and bullish one that we want to, basically, and obviously bearish in red, bullish in green. So a really quick way of looking at what we've got, basically, because I personally copy these symbols and I copy them into TC2000. So I might be in here and I might paste these into here, basically. So 21 symbols found in that copy, paste it in, and I will kind of look through here, and I'm looking for that is what I'm looking for. Is relative strength is what I'm looking for. The blue here is the market, and here is our relative strength from BAC. I'm gonna look at the D1 and realize that's pretty good. I kind of like that. I think I wrote a note on that, so that's on my radar and on my bullish hit list potentially for next week. So back to ZenBot. And there's also a what's new, so we can look at what features are new, what's coming out, not what's coming out, but what's come out, I suppose. So Storm's done a great job of updating bug fixes, adding various bits. So our last big update was in October, and it was looking at earnings data, scans, and filters. So because this is free, obviously Storm has a full-time job. This is not his full-time job. He works this on his spare time, which I'm very thankful for because it has improved a lot over the years and it's fantastic. And so we can flag scans as well. So we can flag these if we want to. And then there is also a really useful section where we can kind of look for our flags. So can jump into there. So I flagged that one, so it now appears in here. But lots of different scans that do different things. Everyone has a personal thing they're looking for and a different method what they're trying to use. So it's very customizable, really useful. Definitely recommend that you try it out and give it a go. Join the Discord if you can to give some feedback. But I think more importantly, definitely support the creator of this. So Storm is the creator. I'm a Patreon supporter myself. There's Ko-Fi to buy him a coffee to keep him fueled. But it's a really great scanner for finding whatever you're looking for. There's lots of different customizable options, like I said, and it's continually improving. Going to mention it again, but it's free, so it's very, very good, very, very useful. And that's all I wanted to say about the scanner. Do try it out. Do join the Discords if you want to ask some questions. And thank you very much. Read the wiki. Thanks.